Ever feel like you're drowning in articles about cloud migration? You know, those ones that promise to unlock unimaginable potential, but leave you wondering, okay, but where do I even start?
It can be overwhelming.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're tackling in this deep dive your stack on cloud computing for application migration. And let me tell you, there's a lot more to it than just picking a server in the digital sky. We'll help cut through the noise and get to what matters.
It's a hot topic for a reason, that's for sure.
It really is. So let's jump right in. Why is everyone and their grandma so obsessed with migrating to the cloud these days? What's all the hype about?
Well, imagine a world where your business isn't held back by the limitations of physical hardware, That's the true allure of cloud computing. It makes those buzzwords everyone throws around, scalability, flexibility, efficiency, actually mean something. They become real, tangible advantages that you can actually leverage.
Okay, so we're not just talking about taking our dusty old servers and giving them a fancy new digital address.
No, it's much more than that. Our source really stresses this. It's not about simply lifting and shifting your existing applications. It's about taking a step back, understanding cloud architecture, basically, how to design and optimize your applications specifically for this new environment.
So that term that keeps popping up, cloud architecture, what does that actually mean in plain English?
You know how if you're moving, you could just move into a pre-built house, or you could actually design and build your dream home from scratch?
Yeah, I get it.
Cloud architecture is kind of like designing your technology house to fit your specific needs from the ground up, making sure everything's in the right place.
Interesting. Okay.
You've got your front end, which is basically what your users see and interact with. Then you have your back end, all the behind-the-scenes machinery that makes everything run smoothly. And of course, you need the networking, the plumbing, if you will, to tie it all together.
So it's about looking at each of those pieces, those rooms in your house, and thinking about how to optimize them for the cloud, not just replicating what you already have.
Exactly, you're getting it.
Yeah.
And this is where choosing the right cloud model for your specific needs becomes absolutely critical.
And this is where we get into those acronyms everyone throws around. SaaS, PaaS, IaaS. What's the deal with those?
Right, so our source does a really good job of breaking these down. SaaS, PaaS, IaaS, and they each offer a very different level of control and customization.
Yeah, and they can be a bit much to keep straight sometimes.
They can be. Think of SaaS, or software as a service, like renting that fully furnished apartment. It's super convenient. Everything's already set up for you. You just bring your stuff. But on the other hand, you're kind of stuck with their choices. The furniture, the layout, PaaS, or platform as a service. That's more like getting a bare bones apartment. You have a blank slate, and you can customize it to your liking, more control, but also a bit more work involved in setting it all up.
Right, so more freedom comes with more responsibility.
Exactly. Now, if you want complete control, there's IaaS, or infrastructure as a service. This is like buying the land and building your absolute dream house exactly how you envision it. You have maximum control, but you're also responsible for every single detail, from the foundation to the roof.
Makes sense. So you've got your house, you figured out the blueprints, now you got to figure out the neighborhood.
Yeah, good analogy. And that's our next big decision. Where is your cloud house going to live? Public, private, or hybrid cloud?
So let's break those down a bit. Public cloud, what are we talking about there?
Think of it like living in a bustling city center. You're sharing resources with lots of other residents. It's cost effective because you're splitting the bills, and there's a certain vibrancy to it. You're in the middle of all the action.
Okay, so a bit of shared space. Got it.
Yeah, exactly. Now, a private cloud, that's like owning your own secluded estate. You have way more control, higher security because you're not sharing your space, but you're also bearing all the costs yourself, and it can feel a bit isolated sometimes.
Yeah, I can see the trade-off there.
Now, if you can't quite decide between the city and the countryside, there's always the hybrid approach. This is like living in a gated community. You get some of the benefits of both worlds, the community aspect and the privacy and control.
This is all super helpful for understanding the landscape, but let's get down to brass tacks. For someone staring at this stack of information, feeling a little overwhelmed, what's the key takeaway? Where do they even start?
Honestly, the most important thing to remember is that migrating to the cloud isn't just about following the latest tech trends. It's about making a strategic business decision. Our source really hammers this home. It's crucial to understand your specific needs, your goals for the future, and how much risk you're comfortable with.
Basically, have a plan.
Exactly. Don't just jump on the bandwagon blindly. If you're a small business, maybe you just need some basic software to streamline your operations. SaaS, that easy furnished apartment in the cloud, might be the perfect solution for you. But let's say you're dealing with highly sensitive data, customer information, financial records, that kind of thing. In that case, a private cloud or a hybrid approach where you have more control over security could be absolutely essential.
Sounds like there's no one-size-fits-all approach.
Absolutely not, which is why it's so important to carefully assess your needs.
This has been a really insightful deep dive. It's clear that migrating to the cloud isn't just about keeping up with the Joneses. It's about making informed decisions that align with your unique business goals.
I completely agree. And the thing is, the cloud landscape is constantly evolving with new technologies and services emerging all the time. It's not a one-time decision, it's an ongoing journey.
So the question is, are you prepared to evolve with it? That's something for all our listeners to ponder as they explore these options further.
Food for thought.